Saints Game Day Live post-game show. The Saints getting a 16-15 win over the Tennessee Titans to start the season off 1-0. It is the 5th straight home opener that they have won, and that is, yes, a franchise record. They extended the already franchise record of 4 straight. It is great to welcome former Saints linebacker Scott Shanle in, 10-year NFL vet and a Super Bowl champion. He'll be joining us every game here for our post-game show. Looking forward to his analysis. I'm Erin Summers, and we're going to catch up with John DeShazier, who is right outside of the locker room. John?
The stretch with the touchdown pass from Carr to Rashid Shaheed, which really sealed it for the Saints. So, they've got a little bit of work to do offensively. You want to protect it a little bit better, obviously. You certainly want to be able to score in those red zone opportunities. But the thing about it is, you have to do what you have to do on that day to win that game, and they were able to do what they needed to do on this day to win this game. And so, it meant being able to get the stops defensively, being able to get the turnovers, and generating just enough offense to be able to keep them at bay. The late pass to Rashid Shaheed, the long pass from Carr to Shaheed, really sealed it for the Saints. And again, you always wonder if your quarterback can make those throws in the 4-minute offense, the 2-minute offense, to seal the game, to get the game over. And Derek Carr was able to do that. I mean, he was under a lot of heat in this one. He did throw an interception. He took a lot of pounding in this one, but he was able to stand in firm and be able to make the throws that he had to make, including the touchdown throw. It really, again, put the Saints over the top. So a lot of stuff to clean up. I'm sure Dennis Allen will say that about this game. But defensively, there's hard to argue with what happened on this field today, because you keep the opposition out of the end zone. You force 5 field goals. You're able to get the 3 turnovers. You put the offense in great position, and I think the offense will be able to clean up. I think the protection issues pretty much were cleaned up in the second half, but you want to see that throughout the entire game, and you just want to make sure that it's a cohesive, functioning unit, and hopefully that'll happen here pretty soon. But again, defensively, I don't think there will be any doubt that the Saints will love what they see on film from this one. They were able to really get off the field in a lot of situations. And again, the forced turnovers is huge in this league. If you win the turnover battle, you're probably going to win that game. And they were able to win the turnover battle in this one, and they won the game, Erin.
Thanks, John. Yes, there are a lot of things that happened that were good and a lot of things that weren't so great, especially on the offensive side of things. But it was good to go away with a win today. I appreciate that. Scott, looking at this game, it did take a little while for the Saints offense to get rolling. Finally, we're able to break that barrier, get into the end zone in the third quarter. What did you see that changed as the game went on?
Well, I just think you played against a really good Tennessee Titans team, and the Tennessee Titans like to get you in these 4-quarter games where they want to run the ball on you.
It's a really good football team that we just played. They've been perennially one of the teams in the AFC that was one of the teams you talk about all the way to the end. So I think they're well coached, and I thought it was a heck of a game, and I was proud of our guys for being able to hang in there, and make just enough plays to win it.
What was the key to just 3 turnovers?
Guys made some plays. You know what I mean? Look, I thought the block punt gave us a little bit of energy there early in the game. And then I think our guys had opportunities to make plays on the ball, and they finished and capitalized on it. And I think that's probably something that we maybe didn't execute as much in the previous season, but our guys made some plays when they needed to, and it was good to see. I thought defensively, I thought it was pretty good.
Why did Marshawn come off for that play and then Yaddle making the play immediately?
It wasn't injury. I'm not sure exactly what it was in terms of why he came out. I think part of it was he got a little gassed a little bit, which is kind of to be expected. He missed a lot of time, and we played a lot of down safety. We played a lot of man-to-man, and he was having to cover receivers on every single down. So I thought he played a hell of a game. I thought our secondary made some plays on the ball. I thought it was tight in coverage. Everything they got, they had to earn. And I thought we did a good job up front being able to get a little pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, speaking of execution, how proud of you of the fourth quarter execution overall and going down the stretch?
Yeah, look, I mean, the best teams are able to finish in this league, and we were able to, get into a competitive game in the fourth quarter and make enough plays to win the game. So proud of the team for being able to do that.
Dennis, it seemed like every time you went into the dime, you gave them a lot of trouble. What was it about that was working for you?
Well, look, I mean, I think it's a combination of rush and coverage. I thought our guys did a good job of executing the pass rush patterns that we had up front, we did a good job of being tight in coverage and not giving them easy completions for the most part. So I think that's the key to good pass defense. You have to have both elements involved there, and I thought both elements were there in the game today.
Dennis, it was probably like a 50-50 decision based on analytics for the Titans there to take the field goal instead of going for 4th and 4 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Did you have a hope? I mean, did you want your defense to get a chance to close it out right there? Or
I wanted to win the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at that point, the ball's not in my court, but I was comfortable with whatever outcome we had because I had confidence that our offense could, run the clock out. And that's, exactly what we did. So,
obviously, Tennessee has a great defensive front, but when the run game is limited as much as it was today, does that really kind of handcuff everything you want to do on offense?
Yeah, look, I thought we weren't able to run the ball very effectively at all today. I mean, obviously, that's a good front that we played. They led the league in terms of run defense last year, so we knew it was going to be difficult to run the ball. But I thought that also made it a little bit more difficult in terms of protecting the quarterback early on in the game. I thought we did a much better job, as the game wore on of being able to get a little bit more protection for Derek, and we started to be able to hit a few plays down the field. So, obviously that's something that we've got to improve on. And look, we're excited about the fact that we won the game against a really good team, and yet we know that there's a ton of stuff that we have to clean up. There's a lot of things that we have to get better at in really a short time to do it. So, we're going to enjoy this win, but yet we're going to start, we're going to turn our focus to Carolina and get ready for, a divisional opponent.
Did you make any adjustments in the pass protection, or was it just staying out of 3rd and long more often?
Yeah, look, we made a few, adjustments, got, a couple of chips over there, particularly to Trevor, to help him out over there. So that's pretty common in our league. You go in with a plan and you have a few things and you see how things are working, and then you have to make some adjustments. So I thought our offense did a nice job of making a couple of adjustments to give us some, opportunities to make some plays.
Are you concerned about what you saw from him today, Coach?
From Trevor Penning?
Yes.
No, I'm not concerned. This guy's going to be a good player. You got a young guy that's playing against a extremely good front. So does he have to get better? Absolutely. Am I concerned? No. I think we just keep our head down and keep going to work, and we'll keep getting better, and we'll make our evaluations, when we get to the end of the season, see where we're at. But I think this kid's going to be just fine.
Dennis, you guys are always talking about iron sharpening iron. Do you feel like you saw that, I guess, especially defensively on this?
Yeah, look, I mean, our guys have been, competing for, what's it been the last, call it, month and a half or so. And I thought we had a great camp. I thought our guys worked extremely hard. I thought they were focused on what we had to do in the game. I did think we were a little bit out of sorts early in the game. We had to kind of calm down just a little bit, and once we kind of got settled in, we did all right. But I thought, after the opening kickoff and turning the ball over like that, like we did, and then to have the defense go out there and force a field goal in that situation against a team that's been a really good red zone offense, I thought that was huge for our confidence, for our team.
Dennis, the job that Derek did, and especially in those critical, at the end of the game, those kind of things. Overall, how would you grade how he did today?
Yeah, look, I thought there was a lot of good things that I saw. I'm sure there's a few things that we probably need to look at and maybe get fixed. I think early on in the game, like I said, I don't know that we did as good a job as we needed to in terms of getting protection for him. And once we kind of settled that in a little bit more, I thought you saw in the second half. I thought you saw a little bit more effectiveness in the passing game. But, we felt like there might be some opportunities, down the field. And the big pass play there to Rashid there at the end. Obviously, the touchdown pass, those were big plays in the game.
How do you think Rashid handled the emotional highs and lows? He was involved in a lot of big plays, the near misses early. How did he handle that?
Look, I think overall he did well. You got to remember, here's another young guy that doesn't have a ton of experience and missed a ton of camp. And look, that was the first time that he'd ever been tackled since last season. And so those are all lessons that you learn, and obviously they're much easier to learn those lessons coming off a win.
How'd you feel about the way that Blake Ruby, just managed this moment in a game where?
Yeah, I thought he kicked the ball well. The 52 yards. So the 52-yarder there was a huge kick in the game. So that was great to see the kid knock that thing through. I thought he kicked the ball off well. So I was pleased with the way he performed.
Speaking of defense, holding the Titans to 3 at the beginning, how critical was it for the offense to answer those 3 points?
It was big. I think, one of the big differences in the game, obviously, is, the turnover takeaway ratio, I think, was a big factor in the game. I include the block punt in there. So if you said that, you'd say there was 4, takeaways in the game, 4 plays that changed, the field position and the momentum of the game. So I thought that was huge. And then I thought, with the exception of the kneel down play at the end, we were 1 of 3 in the red zone. They were 0 for 3 in the red zone in terms of scoring touchdowns. So I thought that was a big factor in the game.
Can you talk about Carl Granderson's performance today, 1.5 sacks?
Yeah, look, Carl's been a guy that man, he's worked extremely hard, and he's just continued to get better and better and better, and I think that's a testament to the way that he works, because the guy comes in and he doesn't say a whole lot. He just comes in, does his work, does his job, and keeps getting better. So, guy with talent that's willing to work. I feel like we can help him be a better football player. He's kind of making his way into that.
It's just like a pump and go. Was that something you guys had seen on tape as far as the touchdown?
Yeah, it was something that we felt like we might have an opportunity, against them, and I thought Pete called it right at the right time, and I thought Shaheed. I don't know if it was the greatest route in the world, but he just ran by him, and Derek put it in a good spot, and so it was awesome. All good, brother.
You guys had to run the clock out there with a little less than 2 minutes left, and you hit, I think, a second and long. To put the ball in Derek's hands there and just let, hey, go slant and move the game. What does that say about the trust you all have?
Yeah. Look, we've been saying it. I've been saying it. I got confidence in our offense, and so when it's time to go make a play, we're gonna call the plays and make the plays that we need to make to win games, and I feel confident in our ability to do that.
And then after the turnover on the kickoff, how much did the crowd factor to how well your defense played the game?
God, that's a long time ago. I don't really. But
They had 2 football stars.
yeah, look, the crowd was awesome, and look, I've said this. I told Demario this. This crowd is the best crowd in football, particularly when we're playing well on defense, and that's really our responsibility defensively, is to keep the crowd in the game. And so, I think they were a big part, particularly early in the game.
Coach, right here, from where Shaheed was last year, what does today's play say about his growth in a year?
Yeah, look, he's much further along than where he was at this point last year. And yet there's so much more growth available to that kid. I just see a ton of potential in him. I don't think he's anywhere near where he can be, and I'm excited about watching, him continue to grow as the season goes on. Go ahead, Ed.
He made 2 really football savvy plays by getting down inbounds to burn clock. You don't usually see that from a player, as you said,
who doesn't have a lot of experience?
Yeah, look, I think, well, a couple things. Okay, I thought there was excellent communication going on from Pete to Derek to the guys in the huddle. So we all knew exactly what we needed to do on each one of those plays, and we all knew the importance of making sure that we stayed in bounds, and obviously he executed the play, just like we would have liked him to.
Dennis, how do you feel your defense contained Derrick Henry?
Look, I thought we did a hell of a job. The one screen play got out on us, and that would be probably the one play I'd like to have back. But other than that, I thought overall we did a pretty good job of minimizing what they were able to do offensively. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you go to Demario.
Great job.
Yeah.
Am I good to go?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. I got a lot to say, so y'all buckle up. I started to realize something. We play this game on Sundays, and it's really the Lord's day. And when the day we should be worshiping the Lord, a lot of times the players are getting worshiped, and we get to go on this ball field. So since so many of us didn't get to go to church today, I have a word that I want to share. I know this is a little untraditional, so like I said, buckle up. Revelations 3:20 says, "See, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and dine with him and eat with him and he with me." I want to tell y'all about a knock that I heard this week. A lot of people don't know this, but on Friday, my daughter, she's 4 years old, she had her third epilepsy seizure attack. It's my same daughter who survived retinoblastoma. She's been totally cleared of that, but she had her third seizure, and it's been almost 2 years. She was about a month away. If she would have had no seizures for one more month, then she would have been off the medicine, but now we have to start that clock all the way over. It was on Friday when a bunch of kids were over at the house, and she was playing, and I noticed something was off. And I told her mom I thought she was having a seizure. Her mom is pretty good. She saw it, my wife, and we took her in her room, didn't want to cause a scene, and she started to foam at the mouth, and it was her worst seizure. For 30 minutes, she seized. She wouldn't come, and we had to call the paramedics. They came, and so over the course of time, it ended up being a total of 30 minutes. They got her in. My wife got in the paramedics with her. I got behind them driving. You can imagine all the thoughts that's racing through your mind. The last sight you see of your daughter is she's totally out of it. Got to the hospital, and my wife told me that my daughter stopped breathing in the car twice. So I'm, of course, praying. We get to the hospital. They give her a bunch of medicine. They sees her stop. She's laying there. And at this point, if she sees for 30 minutes, you start to fear there could be development issues that could mess with her brain. She stopped breathing. If there was no oxygen going to her brain, you're starting to think about her speech be slurred or anything, or worse. So we prayed, and she had medicine, and my wife and I had to stay overnight at the hospital. And in the middle of the night, probably about 3 o'clock, I heard a knock. And the knock was my daughter. I prayed for her. I said, God, let this just be an attack from the enemy that's just trying to be a distraction, and let him have overplayed his hand, and my daughter come back stronger than before. When I heard my daughter talk in the middle of the night, and my daughter, she doesn't have any development issues, praise God. She doesn't have any slurred speech, prior to this. She woke up talking clearer than she was talking before. Now, anyone who deals with epilepsy knows that it takes a few days for them to come back. They usually can get back to normal wherever they were. But it takes a couple of days. They're groggy. It's a lot because what their body is like, it's like the TV just staticking in their brain. She was talking clearer than before. And it was 3 o'clock, and we heard her talk, and we let her talk for about 20 minutes and said, hey, baby, it's nighttime. Let's go back to sleep. And I just prayed. I started saying, praise God, praise God. The next morning, when she got up, my daughter was so sharp. She was able to talk to me and her mom. I mean, clear conversation. She's sharp for a 4-year-old. No stuttering. All her words clear. And my daughter, like I said, my daughter is already sharp. She was sharper than before. And if any of you were able to have a conversation with my daughter, you wouldn't know anything had ever happened. So we had a birthday party for my 7-year-old daughter that day. She got to be released from the hospital, and she came back home. and it was as if nothing was happening. She was playing with the kids the day before, and she had the worst seizure that she had ever had. And the next day, she's back out there playing with the kids. Now, of course, we can't let her get overstimulated. We have to keep bringing her in, have to keep cooling her down, can't let her do too much just because of protocol. But when I tell you, I got a chance to hear a knock from God. And what I want to share is we get to play this game, and it's great. And there's so many amazing things that happen in that game. And everybody wants to hear about them. But when we leave this game, we go back to being regular people. And regular people are living life. And people are waiting for a knock. And the word says who Jesus is, he's knocking at the door. All you got to do is get up. And so on the way, man, I'm nervous, but I'm praying. And I'm trusting. And I'm believing. And I'm asking for my daughter to make it through. I'm asking that she's better than before. And God gave me just what I asked for plus some. I was blown away. And at that point, I knew, well, the game is going to take care of itself. My knock had already been answered. And I just want people to know, like, if you got stuff going on in your life, lay it before the Lord. Lay it before the Lord and trust. And be expecting of a knock. Because the word says what you have to do is you have to get up and open the door. He's not going to open the door for you. He's going to knock. But you have to be listening and waiting for the knock. And when you see it, you have to get up and open the door. And your blessing is going to be there. Now, I'm going to be here to talk about football next week. I wish y'all well. Happy Sunday, and praise God. Thank y'all.
Oh.
The big third down connection at the end there, what did you feel like that? What was kind of my take on that play? What did you see on that?
Yeah, so it's funny. Derek, before the possession started, he came right up to me, and he was like, just run as fast as you can, and I'm going to throw it. So I knew going out there that he was going to give me opportunity, and, I was able to create some separation. He threw a great ball, and I was able to get 2 feet in and, maintain that drive to maintain the win.
On that touchdown,
Yeah.
how much have you guys been sitting on that one and sort of waiting for the right opportunity?
Yeah, it felt like we were waiting for forever. I had it in the back of my mind. I knew that the play was going to be called. It was just a matter of when, and I knew that I had to execute, and the play was perfectly executed. Derek saw me open, and he delivered a great ball, and all I had to do was catch it.
It looked like you kind of stutter-stepped a little bit in front of the guy and sort of caught him flat-footed. Is that kind of what you saw?
Yeah, that was the plan. Once I saw him flat-footed, I knew that I could just burst by him and score a touchdown.
Can you speak to the difference in how you felt pregame, beginning of last year, pregame, beginning of this year, as well as your confidence level?
Yeah, no, I was so confident. I was just out there having fun, just enjoying the moment, not getting too caught up in any of the stuff, just going out and playing football. And I felt completely different. I wasn't in my mind. I wasn't thinking. I just knew that I was prepared, and I was going to come out and play the best game that I can.
Was the game a little slower?
Sorry.
Was the game a little slower?
It was 100%. Yes, sir.
To that point, DA talked about how you've grown so much in the past year. How do you analyze your growth on the field in the past year?
Yeah, I feel like I just said, the game is slowing down a lot. I've been taking more time in the film room and spending more time just focusing on the little things, and I knew that going into the season that would have taken me to the next level. And still a lot of work to do, but I'm definitely proud how far I've came.
How do you feel emotionally? Fumble over the kickoff, you get the long touchdown, you get one of the clutch plays in the game.
Yeah, no, emotions were everywhere. It was a hard-fought game. A lot of stuff that we had to clean up, but we got the win. That's all that matters, and the emotions are higher right now. And we're going to enjoy this for the time being, but we know that we got to get back to work next week. Got a tough opponent, and the emotions were kind of up and down. My teammates kind of kept my head high. After the turnover on the first play, and I knew I was going to get more opportunities, so I just had to make the most of them.
Did that take a minute to get past that? Like, what is sort of your process to get past
that? You kind of just got to just shove it in the dirt, move on to the next play. I knew that I was going to get more opportunities in the back of my head, and I knew that there was plenty more game to play. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
On the kickoffs, do you kind of have that opportunity to kind of make that decision when the ball's in the air about whether you're going to take it out or not?
Yeah, absolutely. Riz gives me full go on that, whether to take it out or keep it. He believes in me and he believes in my decisions. Oh, yeah. Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Great job, brother.
Good?
All set?
All right. Oh, I'm starving. I am starving.
Your thoughts on the first game?
It was a lot of fun. I'm glad we won. That's all I wanted to do. And that was one of the more physical games I've played in my 10 years. Very physical football game, up in the trenches. But proud of our guys, the way we bounced back in the second half. And we're able to get that win. No, please. I'll talk too much.
Yeah, but that was rude.
You're good.
On that last drive, do you want, I know the answer, but I'm asking anyway, do you want that shot to go to Rashid to try to put the game away?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's you, right?
Yeah, well, me and Pete talked about it on the sideline, and I told Pete that was a play that I liked, and he trusted Sheed and I to make the play. And the offensive line gave me time to throw it, and when he's that fast, I was just trying not to throw it out of bounds, and he ran a great route, caught it, all that. It's exciting, but that goes back to Pete trusting us. He asked me, what I liked throughout the game, all that kind of stuff, and before that drive, that was something that I really liked, and he called it, so that he has a lot of trust in us as players, and that means a lot as a player.
What did you see on the touchdown for Sheed?
Great route by Sheed. Ran a double move, came over in motion, double move. I tried to give it a little pump right when he was settling his feet to try and get the corner to stop. And Sheed's so fast, it's really tough on a corner to get back started when he gets going. And so Sheed, ran a great route. Again, that's another play that, Pete had called up, dialed up, like, hey, get ready, And I really enjoy working with him and his demeanor throughout the game because you kind of know what's coming, you know what to expect, and he calls them and he counts on us to make plays for him.
What does it say about Rashid to be able to bounce back from the opening kickoff and to be able to be available and to help make those plays to get you guys the touchdown and the win?
Well, it's a very veteran thing of him to do. A very, very grown-up thing. Usually when young guys, make a mistake early, it's hard to get them, back focused. It's hard to get them back right for the rest of the game. And that's just the NFL. It's just over time you see that, And he made that play and no one blinked. No one flinched. But I was really proud of him. When something like that happens, his mindset and his demeanor was great. So when something like that happens, man, I hope he gets to make some plays, after to get that confidence back. But from what it looked like to me, he didn't lose any because he came out and caught a lot of passes for us in some big situations.
And what does a win like this do for the offense? The first game will push you all together and do a live game, meaningful action, and just to pull out the win. What does this kind of open for the sake of the team on the offensive side?
Well, the exciting part was, everyone talked about the weapons and, throwing the ball and down the field and all that kind of stuff, things we've been doing in camp. But we showed that we could win the ultimate physical type of game, right? You're good. We showed we could win a physical football game, and we're going to have to be able to win in any kind of different way. And so I'm just glad that we hopefully got that one out of the way. No, I'm just kidding.
How proud are you to execute the drive to run out the clock to seal the deal?
Well, it felt good, It felt really good. Obviously, you could tell I wear my emotions on my sleeve sometimes. So I was real excited, real fired up. And, the one that got me the most excited was the run that creased at the end, because that's the one that did it. O-line, called it right. They blocked it right. Jamal made the right cut, got down, did exactly what Coach Ash said, get down. He did that. That right there is what makes me proud, because it's game on the line. We get this, we win, and we didn't have to put the defense back out there. That makes me happy.
Talk about your connection with Chris Olave as well as Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I think today was awesome because the ball was so spread around so much, And, Chris obviously went over 100, and that's fantasy people's favorite thing ever, and he did that for them. But, when we can spread it out, no matter who gets the 100, no matter who gets the touchdown, as long as we keep that mindset of big team, little me, hopefully we'll see a lot of good days for Chris and Sheed and Mike and Juwan and everybody. And so the fact that we were able to spread it around, everybody made their plays when they were called upon. That's good to see as a quarterback because now I can trust them all. Now if they're doubling him or they're playing robber, I can go to this guy, I can trust him to win. I can, it helps me with my decision making for sure.
Yeah, can you explain what you saw on that big throw to Shaheed on that last drive?
Mhm.
And I mean, you don't see a lot of things that are when you're trying to run the clock out like that.
Yeah, that's all Pete Carmichael just trusting us as players. It's a play that we talked all game, and before that drive, it was a play that that him and I had talked about. I was like, Pete, I love this, and what was awesome about that, because it was our first game really playing together, with all the situations, all the scenarios, game on the line, and Pete trusted us, to make a play, and as a player, that means so much to us, that he would trust us in that situation to go get that for him, and for the team, and hopefully we can continue to do that because he showed to us that he trusts us, so we got to keep proving to him every week that we can earn that.
So that was the design then to go with the Shaheed on that play?
Yeah, if they gave it to us. Like if we had the one-on-one good release, all that. If not, I'd had something else. But yeah, for sure, we were trying to get it to Shaheed.
Derek said that you guys had been sitting on that double move, the one that turned into the touchdown. What was sort of origin of that? Like, were you guys talking about that last night as something? Like in the last few days, like when did you identify that and know that that was something you wanted to go to?
Well, we saw something in practice a couple weeks ago. We're like, hey, it'd be kind of cool if we did this, and sure enough, as you watch the tape, you're like, man, it looks kind of good in this situation to call it. And we ran it at practice. We actually didn't connect on it in practice, funny enough. But today we connected, and those are the ones that matter.
Derek, what about the defense? Just talk about the way they played for you. What does that do for you as a quarterback when you see them play?
If they don't play that well and we lose the game, everybody's mad at me, and rightfully so. And that's how it should be as the quarterback. And this is the ultimate team game. This is the ultimate team game. It takes all 11 on the field at once, all three phases. And, all three phases had some plays that they'd like back, but all three phases played their butt off and played physical and grinded and did anything they could to win. So, anytime we can get a win, yes, I'm so proud of our defense. Yes, I'm so thankful, with the takeaways that they got and, kind of washed ours away, and helped us in that. But like they would say, they expect us to finish the game, just like we expect them to get us the ball back. And as long as we keep that expectation for each other, knowing that, hey, if it doesn't happen, we got your back, we'll take care of it. Keep that kind of mindset. I think we're going to have a good season.
You talked about how physical it was during the game, especially in the first half. Tell us a little bit about your ability to maybe sit in that pocket a little bit longer in the second half and make some of those throws.
Well, that's all the offensive line. I try my best to not be a statue, but be back there to let my guys get open and let them run. And when I have to get out, try and go get as many yards as I can or make a play with throwing it. But they did a great job in the second half. And this is without watching the film, too. They made it just be like, oh, my fault, But, in the second half, it just felt better. The timing of things, however it worked out, it was just better. And very proud of those guys. I think everybody, offense, defense, everybody felt like a little rusty on this or on that. It's week one, and you hate to say that, but it always happens. But we cleaned it up really fast, and we're able to bounce back to get the win.
You said you've been waiting for this game for a long time. How did it feel emotionally to finally get that first touchdown after you had been grinding it out with field goals most of the game?
Yeah, it felt great. But again, in that situation, that was the expectation. We got to score. We got to get a touchdown, to win this game. And thankfully we did. And I tried my best, until the game's over to stay, here. And like I said, I get emotional. But after that touchdown, it's like so fun. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, cool, first touchdown. And then like literally half a second later, it's out. It's like, okay, well, now what do I got to do? And, the best part about it is that we won the game. We won the game. That's literally the only reason I came here and wanted to play this game so bad, was to win this game so that we can hopefully continue to keep stacking them.
Derek, what was kind of the insert review of how Mike Thomas played today?
I love Mike. He's the ultimate competitor. And, wow, on game day, I love the communication that we have. It's a different level, man. He reminds me so much of Devontae and the way that they both approach the game. And it makes sense because they're two of the best receivers in the whole league. And, his mentality, his violent, route running. You saw the one he caught over the middle on second down to get us back into a third and manageable, and took a shot. And he told me, he's like, if you got to throw it in there, throw it in there. And he let me throw it in there. He took the hit, and he bounced up. And just that mentality that he brings it elevates everybody on offense. It means, man, I got to do that for us too. I got to match that. And I'm just so proud of him. I know it's been a long road for Mike. I know being able to start the game off big, to him down the sideline. I know how much that meant to him. But knowing Mike, he couldn't care less. He cares about the next rep, And so I think that's what we've all fallen in love with Mike, and I'm the same. I haven't been around him as much as y'all, but it didn't take long for me to see what he was about.
What makes his communication a little bit different, or something that stands out to you?
He sees things the way quarterbacks see them. He sees things, with certain reps and certain routes. He's like, hey, when they go zone, I did this. Are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. And he was like third in the progression on that one. I'm like, but now I know if these are shut out, I know he's going to do it, bam, right when we see that. So it just helps you so much. You get to him quicker, even on that third down, I almost gave him a little or second down, I almost gave him a hand signal just because I saw something. And there was one earlier in the game, I gave him a hand signal. He ran it perfect. We were about to hit it when they hit the ball, and he, I wish we had that play for Mike, but I don't know. He just sees things the way I want him as a quarterback, and it's really impressive.
What happened on that interceptor before half? Was it just...
I forced it. I was dumb. I was way too excited. I'll just be honest with you. I was like, I'm making every throw now. I was pissed off. I walked to the side. I was like, what are you doing? So I know it's funny right now because we won. It wasn't funny at the moment. I take it very seriously, but that was me being stupid. That was unbelievable. Yeah, when we scored that touchdown, I couldn't help myself but start dancing, man. That was awesome. That was ridiculous, man. It was good to be on that side of it. Last year wasn't so fun. So,
Derek, how would you describe how Trevor Penning was sort of handling? Look, he had some struggles.
Yeah.
How he was handling that, like in the huddle, and how you thought he was.
Oh, he was great. Great mentality. Great demeanor. Every game is not going to be everybody's best game, and. He was getting held on one that something happened. There's so many things and so many different things. Could I have got the ball out quicker? I'm going to watch it and be critical of myself, to help him. But I was so proud of his demeanor and the way he carried himself because no one wants to make a mistake. All of us, all 53, nobody wants to go out there and be the one that, oh man, that was on me. Like I did before the half. It crushes you. It hurts. Because you want so much for your team. But the way he picked himself up, like we have a room full of grown men. That, hey, yeah, I made a mistake. Let's keep going. Let's keep playing. And I felt that from him. His demeanor is the same all the time. He looks angry. He looks violent, and he plays that way. And, I love him to death, and I'm proud of the way that he was able to finish in the second half.
Derek, the ball you threw over Kirkwood in the end zone at that one point, did
yep.
you think he got held? You were trying to alert to the flag, or you were trying to, I couldn't tell?
I was, I got out, and if I had time, I probably would have thrown it to Mike, but someone was in my face. Mike was coming on the over. And so I try to give it a safe, outside shot that he would get it. But, yeah, I just overthrew it just a little bit.
When you decided to come here, one of the factors was that you felt like this team had a defense, and you mentioned it before, where you wouldn't have to be constantly chasing the score, if you will, and being a one-dimensional offense.
Yep.
Is this kind of an example of what you envisioned?
Yeah, absolutely. They kept us in the game. They kept us in the fight. When we weren't getting touchdowns, we were having field goals. It was driving us crazy. But they don't flinch. And they being able to play with a defense like that, we can win a lot of games, especially once we get going. And offensively, we didn't have our best, but we had enough to win, and that's what matters. And we had it when we needed it. But when you look at the defense and the way that they can play, there's going to be games that we may have to score a lot. There may be games that are tight like this. There may be games where we can get a lead and help them out. It's going to change throughout, but just knowing the type of people that are on that side of the ball, the type of grown men that are in that room on defense, that's what excited me, and I saw that today.
What's it like as a quarterback to have the confidence of the offensive coordinator to finish the game off and put it kind of on your shoulders the way they did? Because you're going to have to, you don't want to get the ball back.
Yeah. Yeah, it made my day. It really did. It meant a lot to me and to our offense that he trusted us to do it. And I take my hat off to Coach Carmichael. Pete's been unbelievable to work with. And in a crucial moment, he's like, nope, I know he likes this. I'm calling it. And he trusted us to make a play for him. And like I said earlier, hopefully we can keep doing that to earn that trust, earn that respect from him. But that's him trusting his players. And, that says a lot about him and our coaching staff, especially head coach. He's a defensive guy. Run the ball, take the timeout, kick it. He could have said that. He's like, no, we trust you guys. And, DA and Pete let us do that, and it was really cool. I'm not going to lie, it felt really good.
If you took that late hit, was there an extra edge with the team?
Maybe, yeah. Usually when the quarterback gets hit and makes a throw, and even though they took it away from us, I thought he caught it. But, usually when that happens, the team, for whatever reason in football, whether I've been watching or part of it, they get excited. The quarterback got hit and he gets up, he's got blood on his hand. For whatever reason, people like that stuff. And I don't know. If we played with more of an edge, I don't know. But I just know we executed. But you could definitely feel the energy and the excitement, like, no, we're going to go finish this game. You definitely felt that shift from the first half to in the second half.
You took a hit to the head or the neck?
Oh, yeah, I got hit everywhere. It happened so quick. He jabbed me real quick. I don't even know. Yeah, he got me good. He's a heck of a player.
What was the conversation you had with him after?
Oh, he was like, dude, I'm sorry. He apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, he's like, yeah, we're playing physical. He's like, I'm trying to hit you, but I'm not trying to hurt you, nothing like that. I was like, oh, you're good, man. I know a couple of their D linemen too. I kept telling them. It's like, I like that, man. And they started laughing. So we had a good laugh, even though my neck hurt.
Yeah, you didn't seem too bothered by it, like no one shook hands or something right after.
Yeah, because he apologized. He's like, I'm sorry, man. And I was like, I think my wife's more mad than I am, But no, it's football, it's going to happen. But hopefully not all the time right in the face. Good. Appreciate you. Yep, thank you. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
Just heard from head coach Dennis Allen, linebacker Demario Davis, wide receiver Rashid Shaheed, and quarterback Derek Carr. Scott, before Dennis Allen so rudely interrupted us, I was asking you about the offense here tonight. What did you see that you liked that started to work as the night went on?
Well, I just think you have to get comfortable in an offense, and I think the Saints came out and tried to run the ball, but they were going against a very stout Tennessee defense. Once the running game wasn't working, you saw the vertical game start to come, and I think that's why so many people were excited about getting Derek Carr. Kind of the missing piece of the puzzle of this offense is you saw back to the Drew Brees days, when you can vertically stretch a defense, it opens up so much more. And as the game went along, Shaheed's speed showed up, Derek Carr's arm strength showed up, and I think that's why things started to open up.
It's funny, Rashid mentioned that. He said that Derek Carr told me just to run as fast as I could because that's where he was going with the ball. That's going to be a really fun matchup to watch. It was good to see Michael Thomas get going to start this game as well. We saw a couple other threats with Chris Olave out there. Juwan Johnson got some carries. How do you think the offense is going to continue to improve?
Well, I think there's so many playmakers. I mean, we don't have enough time in our postgame show to go over all the contributions by so many players this year, especially in this game. It was such a long game. So many different things happened, but you look at from the start of the game, Shaheed fumbling the ball. Nobody expects their season to go like that. All offseason we were training, he comes back, has a huge catch at the end. Michael Thomas starting the game off like that, having those huge catches. Everybody's been waiting to see 13. Everybody's been rooting for this guy to get back on the field. Fan favorite, and he showed today that he hasn't missed a beat. He is still a playmaker. He can make all the tough catches, and I think you have to remember, whenever you can win a game in the NFL, it's hard enough, but you won a game without an explosive playmaker like Alvin Kamara. He's going to be back in a few weeks, so I think it was a huge win. So many guys contributed all the way around, and that's what makes this team hard to stop.
We knew it was going to be a battle. It was definitely going to be a physical game, something that was pretty much won by the line of scrimmage. Defensive line, I mean, they really stepped up today. The pressure that they applied made it very difficult on Ryan Tannehill. And then we saw 3 interceptions, which is something that the Saints really emphasized in training camp.
Yeah, takeaways. And I can attest to it. The year we won the Super Bowl, we weren't top 5 in total defense and rush defense and all those things, but we were number 1 in takeaways. If you can take the football away defensively and give your offense more opportunities to score points, that's the name of the game. So I'm sure everybody in the organization, fan base is excited to see the takeaways. Those things win games. And then to your other point, so many people concerned about losing defensive linemen. A lot of guys left in free agency. The Saints restockpiled with young guys throughout the draft, making Breezy the first-round pick. You see him coming along. The evolution of the defensive line, I think, is going to become a strength of this defense. And they played a really, really good offensive line and a physical team today. I thought they matched up well.
Cam Jordan popped in a few minutes ago and was talking to us, and he said he is really excited. He loves having Brazee there on the line with him. We talked about the offense, the defense. We gotta say something about the specialists because it was the first game for kicker Blake Groupie, and he delivered.
Absolutely, he did. I think anytime you go through a training camp, so many people look at, we talked about defensive line, who's going to win the battle at O-line, who's winning the battle at running back, and you lose sight of two of the most important positions in professional football are punter and kicker because of the field position by the punter. But the kicker, these games come down all day long. It was back and forth. It was a field goal game. And when you have a guy who can deliver in the clutch, hasn't played a lot in the NFL, heck, he had a hard time getting on the field in the preseason. Security was stopping him. A lot been made about that. But he delivered. They're going to be letting him on the field, I promise you that.
Yes, and we look forward to the next time we get to see him here. However, that next game is going to be at the Panthers next Monday night, so that'll be a fun night game. Scott Shanle will be back with me on the post-game show, but we are wrapping this one up as the Saints get a first win of the season, 16-15 over the Tennessee Titans. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.